So today for this live stream I wanted to show you guys how to paint this flower witch here. Now I'm going to start doing these intros a little more often because I want to make sure you guys know exactly what paints I'm using for all the techniques that I show in these videos. So while it is a live stream and it's pretty raw and unedited, I don't tend to go in because it takes so long. But here I wanted to kind of just show her off and talk a little bit about the paints before we get into the video. That way you know exactly what paints you need without having to watch the entire video over. I've seen other videos where I pretty much had to do that, and that can get a little annoying after a while. So here's the fully painted flower witch, and now I'm going to get into the paints. So the most obvious stuff is going to be these actually. So the browns of the base, I'm going to go over the base first. I've got them all right here. So I'm going to go over the base first. So the browns of the base are literally just these two. Brown oxide and Mornfang brown. That's all they are. And then a little bit of Dawnstone from GW and a Seraphim Sepia as well. So that's it for the base. Now onto her, all the leaves and stuff. So those are the same Rhine oxide as a base. And then I layered on these four paints. These are all scale color. We have some brown leather, some Sahara yellow, some Tenere yellow, and some, actually I didn't use fuchsia this time. I used, there it is, blood red, and then I added a little bit of Kalahari orange. Those are the 5 paints for that. And then the skin was really a mixture of a few things. The ones I used, this is where that fuchsia comes in. So it's a mixture of fuchsia and white as a base for a nice pink layer. And then I slowly went up using the, where is it? The pink flesh as a shadow and the light skin as a highlight, and then mixed that with white to brighten it up even further. But that's pretty much it. I used a little gold and silver. The gold is Retributor armor, and I used some of the Rekarth flesh here to show off the flowers and stuff, and the hands that are stuck in her hair. But that's about it. I'll go through the paints as well when I go through the whole tutorial, but I just wanted to do a quick little intro. Thank you very much and enjoy the live stream. Okay, I think this works. You can really see everything. Dang, I need to move the webcam. Give me a second. I just realized that I just saw it. Like, yeah, you guys can see me, kind of. See where the camera is for sure. Alright, yeah, I need to figure out that, it's not too bad, but the angle's a little wrong. Nope. Yeah, the camera's right in the way. Let me see if I can move this. Creative camera placement. There, that can see me better. I'm gonna see my whole setup now. Alright, I'm gonna switch something really quick. I need to change this one too. Okay, should be good. Hey, Lord Witch. Cool. Alright. So yeah, I should be able to hear everything just fine and get my notifications. Hey, no, yeah, I shipped your bases out, or not bases, your dice out today, so that should be good. Make sure everything's good, and I'll get started. So the camera is definitely out of focus, but that's only that way because it should be in focus really nicely here, so. No, I don't remember that painting competition, Lord Wedge. I don't remember at all. So please remind me. I'm just gonna have to leave my computer permanently set up this way. Anyway. Alright, I'm just contemplating what my first step is here. I was actually tempted to paint the base first. Nice! You placed first. Good job. I'm going to do something I don't normally do, because she's actually really pale. I think you can see that. She's just really pale. I airbrushed her that way on purpose. But I didn't really keep the shadows, which is actually going to go to my favor. Because I'm actually going to paint her pink. So we'll see that here in a second. So let me grab a really light. I'm going to have to kind of mix here because I don't have a just pink color. This fuchsia is pretty good, but it is a bit red, so I'm going to have to thin it. No, yeah, no. Be proud of yourself when you accomplish something. Don't limit yourself. Now that means you just have to go to a bigger thing next time. That's all. No, you're doing just fine. I'm gonna mix a little bit of white in it. I'm gonna see where that takes me. This is just scale color white. There, I was hoping that the autofocus on the camera would be good enough for to see the palette properly, but it's not quite good enough. There we go. It's a nice pink. Yep, that worked out well, actually. It was nice when I had it orange, because then you could see the palette properly, but it wouldn't switch the autofocus well enough, so. Right now I can just try to go off of what I've seen. So this pink, it's very pink. Like I'm doing that on purpose. So I'm doing this pink, and I'm actually going to leave it. I'm going to use it as my base coat. Actually, I need it a little thicker than that. I thinned it a little too much. I'm actually painting her completely pink. I've done this before with a red. But this time I actually want some of that pink to show up through the skin, because she's going to be very pale, like very, very pale. I keep trying to get better at really pale skin and have it look realistic. I've done the really like dark gray, like wood elf or dark elf skin on the last Flower Witch, and that's kind of where I'm going here, but not quite. And the color is right, but it's just not thick enough, so I'm gonna have to mix some more here. Oh no, it's not just you. They are off sync, but I don't have a good enough computer, Trojan Donkey, to be able to run a capture card with low lag. But you can see the camera up here. The camera's really nice, but the computer I need to run it is like $1,500, and I don't have $1,500. Oh, I'm mixing more red for no reason. I just need more white. So yeah, eventually I would. I even picked up the capture card, and I didn't even know. I could afford it, but I don't want to like pay a credit card or anything, because that's really not affording it. So we'll see. Yeah, sorry about that. The regular one here has no lag, but this one, see, definitely has lag. Just whatever it takes for the camera to pick it up and then send it over. And there, see, very pink. Yeah, I wanted to do that. It's probably going to be a lot of glazes, like a lot of glazing this time. It's a technique I'm not very good at, mostly because of impatience. So, we'll see where this brings me. Yeah, I know, Wayatune. Yeah, I wish I hadn't seen that that they had smaller figures from that scale color Kickstarter. And plus the painting guide. Actually, the biggest pledge level comes with that painting guide. And I've been meaning to order that for a while, actually. I actually didn't plan on doing a pink base coat for this mini, but I think it might end up working out alright. Because like I said, I wanted to try something that's a little more fleshy. Problem is, and this is a problem I've seen in a lot of miniatures, especially ones I've done because I'm not very good at glazing yet, at very, very thin layers. It tends to be very flat. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it in the camera. There we go. I switched its position from the last stream, unfortunately, so it's a little different. And I don't have it in a spot where I can keep the camera mount always in the same spot. When we build another computer setup down in the basement, I'll be able to do that. But not there yet. That also costs money. It's like everything I want to do costs money. So all I can do is be patient. Dang it! I forgot to do that. I didn't put it up on the commands or anything, but if you search for Kingdom Death figures, I put some of the ones I painted up on Etsy, by the way. So if you wanted to buy some Kingdom Death figures from me, there are three of them up on Etsy right now. Granted, I don't think that quite applies to you, Waytune, because of your Kickstarter propensity, which I can't blame you. It's hard, you know. You think you're done, and then they do something else. So basically what this bright pink is going to do is give me a nice underlayer. And I'm going to want to see that when I do the subsequent layer. So a little bit of spot here and there, showing a little bit of pink. Like you want to see it, but you don't really want to... Sorry, I'm still trying to keep it in camera. Like you want to see it, but you don't really want to see it. If that makes any sense? Like it's just... I want it to... I'm putting it on really thick right now because I want to make sure it's got a nice solid base coat. And I'm not overdoing it. Like it's thick, but not that thick. I'm not going to lose any detail or anything. And on a lot of these Kingdom Death resin miniatures, they're not quite smooth. Like not like 100% smooth. So it's not going to hurt anything to help smooth out the legs and stuff. And I actually took on this one. The only reason it's here, but is because I actually took the, yeah, that's the one, no, that's the one. I wanted to make the shop name Daemonicon, but it was taken, so I had to use the company name. That's where, that name is where all the donations go if you ever donate here on Twitch. And thank you everybody for the bits. The bits cup is up to like... on my account, it's up to like $24. So that's awesome. I can't believe I had the bits cup for like 5 days and it's up to like 25 bucks. It's great. You guys are awesome. And it's nice too because if there's anything left in the cup when I start up my program, it auto resets the physics, so I see them drop again. Which is cool. Sorry, I'm trying to... There's like a give and take between what I can show you. Like if there's a particular thing, I'll try to make sure the camera's focused on it. But there's a give and take because the camera isn't like right behind me. Ideally, that's what I do, is have the camera like right here or back here looking down. But right now I can't ceiling mount it, and I don't have a tripod that's good enough to do that. So eventually in the setup, what you do downstairs, I'm going to ceiling mount it over my desk. But I can't do that just yet. And the next layer is really where this is going to be important. I'm not worried about painting the leaves or anything yet. So if I hit them on accident, I'm not too worried about it. It's only going to be an issue later when I get to it and the back of one of these leaves is somehow pink still. I don't know. I have one anchor light above me, right here. I have one anchor light over there, and two of these things. They're just little USB lamps. I actually bought them because the last work trip I took, the hotel the first work trip I took when I got my new job, had really good lighting in the hotel room, but the second trip I took had horrible lighting in the hotel room. So I got these little USB lights. They're actually pretty bright. I got those because so I could take one on a trip, so I can paint in the hotel room. So, and the next trip should be here sometime at the end of next month. I'll still do a giveaway and stuff, but I will probably be gone the last week of next month, or this month actually, not next month. I haven't gotten my work itinerary yet though, so I'm not sure exactly what time frame I'll be gone. But the giveaways will happen the same. I just don't know if I can stream them. Hotel internet always sucks. But if I find a really nice coffee shop, I'll make sure to have my computer with me, and when I'm not working, I don't mind, Depends on what the area is like, because I don't want to pay the hotel, whatever ungodly rate they want to charge me per day to use the better internet at the hotel. Yeah, I actually took the time on this one to bend the resin so that her skirt back here is actually pointed up a little bit. I should have done that on the front, but I didn't. I forgot about it. I didn't do it. All right, I'm kind of angle this stream. I gotta kind of angle myself this way so I remember. That'll give you guys a better angle too. I actually work for GW. I actually work as a store manager. They ship me off to stores that need coverage. So if they're in the hiring process and looking for a new manager, or if the store is closing, or they have a bunch of different reasons, but that's what they do. Oh, dang it, I moved the light. Get it out of there, and then that didn't help. Okay, so now I'm kind of just contemplating while this dries. As you can see, it's still kind of wet. So I've got to go to a brighter layer, but I don't want to overdo this first layer. So I'm going to I think light skin is actually going to be perfect for this. Light skin from Scale Color. Yeah, it is cool. It's just a part-time job. So I used to travel a lot when I was a kid, so it's actually really cool. And it's nice to get a break and go somewhere. And I don't mind the travel at all. So every couple months they ship me off somewhere. See you later, Lord Wedge. Alright, so this is that light skin. I'm going to keep it next to the pink so that I can get an idea. But I'm going to thin this pretty well. So I might want to add a little pink to it. Actually, I think I will. Oh, that's much better. Oh, I don't know why I didn't think of that forever ago. Yeah, I'm just adding a little bit of pink, and it's far more natural looking than just straight. I've only been to 2 so far, Trojan Donkey. There was a store in Rhode Island and a store in New York. was at the Chapel View store in Rhode Island and what was the one in New York? I don't remember the store location name. But they were nice stores. It's always weird though, because I'm kind of a transition person. So I don't have the nice connection with all the regulars to the store. So it's always weird. I just gotta answer. Are you the new store manager? No, I'm not the new store manager. I'm just filling in till they find a new one. Like, that part's a little annoying, but it's not horrible. So you can see on this. Dang it, you can kind of see on this. It's pretty wet, but you can see the previous layer, which is a good thing. I don't want to overpower it. I want to actually show those defects, and that's why I put this on pretty thin. And I can't really leave any of that pink, so I'm going to paint between the brush too. I'll have to put a shadow down later, but for now it's good. Already, it's much more natural looking than it was before. So we'll see. I don't know if it's set in stone, but I might head over to the East Coast. We'll see. If you happen to be at the store I go, or near the store I go to, certainly say hi, but I'm not going to advertise, you know. That's the thing. It's weird. It's like a weird... It's not like a clash, but it's just a little odd being a Twitch streamer, because I don't want to... When I'm on the... You know, when I'm actually working for them, I don't want to... I don't want that, you know, people knowing me as a Twitch streamer to interfere with that. So, you know, if you happen to be in the area, and you know, if that happens to be where you live, that's fine. But, you know, I don't know. It's weird. It's like, when I'm working, I can't talk anything. Like, I gotta talk shop. I can't talk. That hasn't happened yet, but I was surprised by it happening at Adepticon, so I wouldn't put it past, you know. Yeah, it's nice. It's summer, too, so the place I'm going should be nice, actually. No, I know, Mr. Month. No, I talked to my my boss about that, and he said if it ever came to the point where I would need to go to where somebody would need to go to Canada, he'd go to Canada. So I don't think I ever will. Not for that reason, anyway. Unfortunately. They got a pretty good team up there in Canada, though. I know a store manager in Alberta. He was at... I took my training with him. So. What's the city name? Yeah, I know. No, that's another boat, too. Anytime. It's like... It's funny the way Games Workshop is organized. At least for sales, the U.S. guys and the European guys are very different. Even the difference between the U.S. and U.K. That's a completely group of people, because there's literally no reason for them to talk aside from actual like planning stuff, I guess, for like new releases and whatnot. You know, for getting the information company wide for that sort of thing. So anything to do with how stores are organized, or I don't know what they talk about. I don't think they do really talk about anything. So it's weird. It's weird when I was at Adepticon meeting all the UK guys for the Warhammer community and Warhammer TV team. They was like, "Oh, you work at a store?" Like, there's no context there. Like, that's like me telling them I work at a different company, because the company's big enough to where the departments are completely separate. So that was weird. I don't know why I expected anything different, but it was weird. I ran out of paint. Now I'm trying to mix it again. It's weird. This paint might be a little different. No, but I'm excited. I'm hoping that I get to see some of the stuff that's coming out, but I don't know anything, unfortunately. Like, you could ask me questions, but one, if I knew anything, I couldn't tell you, and two, I don't know anything anyway, so that's the nice thing about being part-time. If I get people that know I work for Games Workshop and they want to ask me questions, then I'm like, thank you for the multipass. I actually saved it. I saved the photo onto my computer, so I've got it. Sorry, this angle. Maybe I need to go this way. I think I need to go this way. I'm going to hide behind my camera for a minute. Yeah, I haven't had anything done for me yet. I guess I'm not memey enough. Right now I'm trying to get all the angles. You can see it's coming. It actually looks a lot more natural here in the real world than through the camera, but it's hard to really convey that. Oh wow, the pink on the inside wasn't quite dry yet, so it really spread. It's not a bad thing because I'm actually doing okay, but I still love that. Oh, Flick. He's funny. Alright. I think I'm kind of done with that layer. I can show it off. The lag is really weird. Like, it looks patchy because it's supposed to look patchy, so. Looks really horrible and strange, but it'll shape up after another layer or two. So I'm really just giving it a rest now to completely dry, because these layers are pretty wet. So it actually is going to take quite a while for that to dry. So what I might do is probably go grab the other one, the other flower witch. Sorry, I'm trying to hold it in the right spot, but I'm still getting used to where the camera is. Alright, so I'm going to put that in front of the little fan and grab the other flower witch. Or no, you know what? I'll work on the base. Do what I've always done, work on the base. So, give me a second. I haven't decided which one this is going to be. I think fall, so browns and yellows and oranges and So I actually want a, you know, a rocky ground is not actually a bad idea for that. Then I can put some leaves on it. So, give me a second to figure that out. Alright, I actually need to figure something out really quick. So here's the question. This is kind of for you guys too. No. The witches are for Ronnie. He actually commissioned me to paint them. So the witches are for Ronnie. This month's giveaway is going to be a necromancer variant. If you haven't already gotten your free ticket for that. So, I need your opinion, guys. I'm going to keep the rocky terrain as just like gray rocks, I think. But what should the bottom be? I'm going to put leaves on it, I think. But what do you think the bottom should be? Like all this rock here? I don't know what I want to make it in. But if you haven't seen Mr. Month, the Patreon giveaway is going to be the painted thief and a new... the second prize is going to be a new fighter. Sorry, I realized this is tilted up a bit. There we go. Come on. Come on. Dang it, either wants to go all the way down or all the way up. I'm going to do this one as fall, because the really pale one, like White Walker looking one, was winter. I'm going to do this one as fall. She's going to be pretty pale, but I think that's okay. And then I'll do summer a little more tanned. So I think I'm just going to do, I guess, just browns. If things are dying, just browns. Which calls for... which immediately calls for a really, really dark brown that I can dry brush over. Hey, Ronnie, I'm working on your witches, actually. Alright. So I just grabbed Rhinox hide and Dryad bark. Actually very similar, but the Dryad bark tends to be a little lighter. And it's nice having two of these because then I can kind of put them together and then I don't have one solid base coat, which is kind of nice on the rocks. Alright. Yep. First ticket's always free. There are no other rewards this month, so just tickets again. I need to make sure to I'll probably add some random things in the Revlo store though. So make sure you guys save some of your lanterns at least until the end of the month, because you might have a chance to get some extra stuff. No, I just realized I needed to paint the rocks first. So give me a second. Fortunately, I think I have the right color out here. Yeah, good enough. I would add a pumpkin. The problem is I've already got it on this rock base, which is actually pretty secured on there. I think I might have even pinned it. So I'd rather not add the pumpkin. I just want to do like a mountain theme. I'm trying to hold this right. There we go. Kind of like a mountain theme with just like leaves and stuff. The base is gonna only accent her. So I need to keep it a little more subdued than well, actually keep them all subdued. That's kind of the idea. Because if you have it too, like if I were to do the pumpkin, it would probably be too bright and take away from her, where you want to focus on the nice yellows and reds and oranges of her leaves that I'm going to do here in a minute. So, probably in an hour or two. So I'm going to finish the base while she's drying, and then I'm going to, yeah, you can see, it's just a light gray, because then I'm going to do a wash on the whole thing all at once. And I need good coverage on these rocks, so I'm literally not even thinning it. I'm just painting it on. Straight out of the pot, but this is Dawnstone from Games Workshop. It tends to be pretty thin. It's actually the same color that you use for 30K Space Wolves, actually. Yeah, if I had some broken tree branches, I totally would, but I don't have any. And I live in the suburbs, so I don't have ready access to little twigs and stuff. Now I can start painting the brown because it'll hit the edges there. Because then if I go over on the rock, it's okay, because it's kind of supposed to do that. Whereas the other way around, if I painted all the brown first and then the gray kind of painted over, then the gray would spill over onto the dirt where it shouldn't, and I'd just have to paint over it again. So, again, Rhinox hide is pretty thick, and I want it to be, so I'm just doing straight out of the pot. It's a base coat. I want it to be thick. Whatever detail I might lose, I will gain back from dry brushing and layering, so not too worried about it. I will have to do a wash on the rocks just to bring out their color again. But that should be okay. It's nice that I have space for leaves, too. Come to think of it, this is the perfect color for her leaves. So I'm going to keep this color, this Rhinox hide from Games Workshop. I'm going to keep that out so that I know. And I'm actually going to start, I need to start doing that. I'm going to start keeping out all the colors I've been using, like all of them, and doing a quick intro to each video. I've seen that problem with other painters. Like they do a good tutorial, and I want to try it, but I don't have all the paints. And so I get annoyed that I have to watch their whole video to figure out what paints they used. And I've been doing that myself this whole time. So I'll leave them out and go over them. I had a little white too. Making sure I know what I'm doing here. And doing fall leaves is actually not that complicated. It looks cool, but it's not complicated. There. So she's done. Her base is going to take a while to dry, but the base is actually done. It's kind of cool that you can see what I'm doing over here on the camera. Actually see me paint. That's actually kind of cool. Alright. Going back to her skin. Take another drink. Thirstier than usual. Alright. So I still have some of I still have some of this light skin mixed with that fuchsia. So I'm going to just put some more light skin on here. And just a tiny, tiny bit of that fuchsia. I'm actually out of fuchsia, so I have to add some more on the palette, but... Welcome back, Ronnie. Alright, just a tiny... I used just a little tiny... really tiny drop of red, and it was perfect. So we're a thin skin tone now that I can layer on. I may actually thin it a little more, come to think of it. So this is the fall one, Ronnie. I'm just taking the time to layer her up. And then I want yours to be the spring one. I know that you wanted it to be more like a summer one, but to me at least it's a little more spring. With all the greens and everything. I'll leave summer a little more. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Like summer may be like a hot summer when I'm done with it. We'll see. Alright. See how she's coming together now? Come on. Am I not holding it high enough? Yeah, there. She's coming together. You can still see the previous layer pretty easily. That's a good thing. I'll just keep layering it up a little brighter in spots like I have been. It's just with these really thin wet layers, it just takes a while to dry. It's nice too, as I build up this color, that less and less of that pink shows up, but it's still there. Like, you can still kind of see it, which is good. Sorry, I'm not having it on camera. I need to... That'll be nice when I get a new computer, whenever that is, to be able to actually see it live without that little bit of lag. So I feel for this one, I'm half off camera all the time. That's lame for you guys, I'm sorry. I still have to do a shadow. I haven't done the shadow yet, so. I was going to do the shadow more as the pink, but we'll see how this turns out. Dang it, I'm not holding this in the right spot at all. There, that's more like it. Now that's crazy, Ronnie. I don't know if you wanted either of the either the fighter or the pinup white speaker, but those are both on Etsy right now. I updated them today, so they're on Etsy if you wanted them. Yeah, the reflections with the light, you can't see as much as I can. Even with the better camera, it's still not quite there. Trying to get the leg in here, just like that. No, that's okay, Ronnie. They should be up there. I don't think they're going to sell anytime soon, so no worries. I just wanted to start putting them up there. Any of the ones that I don't think I'm going to keep, I'll start putting up on Etsy for you guys to have a chance at. That's a lot more straightforward than the whole top donator thing, so if you want it, you buy it. If you don't, that's totally okay. Because, yeah, as I think I'm sure I've mentioned this before, the only way for the stream to stay alive is for random donations that, you know, may get you lanterns, but don't get you, you know, because I can't keep cranking out minis. That's no better than me doing commissions, so. Oh, no, I haven't put it up there yet, Ronnie. Remember I promised that you'd have first crack at it, so I didn't put it up there yet. I will, but not until you're ready for it. Ooh. Pink skin in here. Alright. I'm gonna do her back now. You can see that. She's getting there. I don't have a link right now. Let me make a command for you guys really quick. I'll make a link, and I'll make a command as well. Oh, whoops. Dang it, I'm trying to do this. Yeah, sorry for the delay. I'll try to talk at least a little bit while I'm figuring this out. No, okay, cool. Alright, I think we're good. I think I got it. I think. Yep, that's the one. I made a command, so let's test it. Hey, there we go. It's exclamation point ETSY for Etsy. There we go. Well, that actually gave me plenty of time for her skin to dry, I think. So now I can work on the next layer. It's actually kind of funny. So I'm just going to add a little white, literally just adding white to brighten up that flesh tone. Instead of going like a different color, I'm just going to add a tiny bit of white. So I'm going to put the white over on the side. It's actually right here. Yep, nice. Yeah, the fighter is up there, the white speaker, and then another one of the twin to the one you have, Ronnie. The twin to your Order Knight. Just grabbing a little bit of white every time here. There we go. Wanted to do it until I saw some brightness. You can see the difference between the layers here on the side. As always, it's her breasts that are very prevalent. That's just me adding white, and it will thin out pretty well too, so you should see it a little differently in a bit. Once the white tones down, once it dries. Dang, I'm still not keeping it in frame. Like, I need to look at it and see where it is so that I know, because I can't exactly tell from where the camera is. You can kind of see. Same as before with her back. Making sure it's a little thinner. I think it's going on a little too thick. Just a little. Holding it at this angle is a little weird. I'm not used to it. It helps with my head, though, that it's not right in my face. Because before it was like right in my face. So hopefully I'll get used to this and keeping it at the right angle for you guys, because I'm not going over the legs completely. I'm hitting certain sides and angles. This is just supposed to brighten up what I've already done, not anything else. But I gotta finish the skin before I can do anything else, so that's what I'm doing. It actually might be okay to leave a lot of this here in the middle. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Kind of in the middle where it's darker between her thighs. Actually not a bad thing. I'm still going to paint this in there, but it's pretty thin, so it should show that shadow still. And that's actually what I want. But like I said, you can see her really come together with this layer. It's much different than it was on the previous layer. And this is what? This is my 4th layer now? You know, and you really didn't see anything until the 4th layer, so it's something to bear in mind. You just gotta, that's the problem I have, is just being patient. But if you are, you'll notice a big difference. Gotta remember the other side of her face too. I don't mind it a little bit shadowed, but still gotta focus on it. Wow, she's actually come together really good. I'm actually almost done with the skin. Because this is actually where I wanted to be. Just crazy. Her back's a little off though. I wanna fix that. Probably gonna have to brighten her skin up just a tad, but alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm debating on a shadow. So I've got this pink flesh. I think I've done this before. It's actually really close to that layer that I did before. This is pink flesh from Scale Color. It's actually really close to that layer of pink I did before. So I'm going to use this as my shadow. I'm going to really thin it out. Really thin it out. I might apply more than one layer. I'm going to really thin it. So I'm grabbing two or even 3 now brushfuls of paint or water to thin it out. So making sure it's really thin, because that was the problem with all the layering, is I don't quite have the layers I want. So I'm going to paint the shadow in certain places, like right between her neck here. In her collarbones. And it shouldn't be too dark to the point where it does anything, any irreparable changes. Crook of her elbow. Other crook of her elbow on this side. her inner thigh still, right underneath, right next to her, the line of her underwear, her bikini or whatever. Trying to get next to that. Like I said, I'll probably have to do more than one layer. Back here, around her butt, the inside of her thighs again. It's a subtle thing, but after it dries, I should be able to add. And I'm actually going to do it over the whole part of her back. Hopefully that'll follow into the grooves and hit some spots that I might have lost some detail on. Using it almost like a wash, but it's not really a wash. Alright, it should be dry in the first place I did it, so do it again. So the nice thing is it's very subtle as well, so it should help me contrast everything. There. I gotta hold it here. Holding it closer than I should. There we go. Trying to make sure that I'm on camera right and in the right spot. And alright, so I'm actually gonna, I applied it fine, but it was a little too thin actually. So I'm gonna do that shadow again. Now that I know where I'm going. Separation material every time. Whatever that stuff is that keeps it. I need to figure out what it's called. That chemical that keeps the paint from drying out while it's in being stored, like in a warehouse or whatever. It's annoying. Stop it. I don't want your stuff. Go away. So I'm thinning it this time, but not nearly as much as I did. Okay. Again, right between her breasts. Collarbone. Elbow. Under her armpits. Back of her knees. The reason it's not so strong is because I can go over it again. Maybe just that little bit of shadow that I needed without overpowering the mini. Cool. Cool. Alright, again with that brighter color. Even brighter this time. So it's really bright color. I'm only putting on spots I want to accent, like her butt cheeks, and then the tops of her thighs here, just there. Because it's so similar to the previous color, I can actually get away with letting it naturally blend into her legs. I'm gonna do it on her lower legs as well, to just kind of bring them out. I've been neglecting these, and they're not that bad. I just need to remember to do it. It doesn't take much to accent them. You're not going to look at them very much, but... Alright, I'm going to worry about her back now. I haven't really. Just a little bit. There we go. Yep, there we go. Alright, her chin a little bit, her jawline. Sorry, too close again. Here, I like holding it here, so I'm going to see if I can switch the autofocus. So you're going to see a lot of menus here really quick. Nope, not that one. I think that's the closest it can focus is right here. Yeah, that's the best it can do. Camera's good, but it's not meant for macro, unfortunately. So. Alright. I'm going to use that pale skin on her fingers now. Just to bring those out. Actually pretty scraggly little fingers. I'm going to hit all of them. Nice thing is, if I've been neglecting the fingers, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Because then that means that there's still more pink than anything else. And then they should, the bright white that I'm doing now over that pink should contrast really nicely and bring out the detail of her fingers. There we go. Okay, now the focus is worse. There. Is it better there? No, see, I like it closer. Thank you, Jabberwock. I'm trying to figure it out. Get the focus set to the right spot. Alright, so she's pretty much done. I just need to figure out her other stuff now. So, now I'm going to go to the Rhinox hide. This is going to be the best base for me for her, all of her leaves and everything. I think I'm going to make her hair a little different. Probably, I don't know if it's going to match the fronds or not. I haven't decided. Probably, actually. So. Can't believe I've only been streaming for an hour. I got a lot done in an hour. Alright. So I'm going to use that Rhinox hide on all the leaves and everything. So it's a very dark brown, so I'm just trying to be careful not to hit everything I just painted. Trying to be careful, I'm hitting it at an angle to try not to hit the skin. Doing okay so far. Shouldn't have said that. Anyway, I don't know why I'm painting that actually. I need to paint that with a much more detailed brush. Oop, look at that. Ran out of brown. More rhine oxide. I forget how much the hair and everything absorbs the base coat. It's like I should base coat the leaves on the next one instead of the skin. Just thinning it a little bit, making sure that it goes on smooth. Hi, Panda. Panda must still be at work. I haven't made a command yet, Mr. Month. I haven't made one yet. They're just Winsor Newton Series 7. That's all they are. They're different variants. You can kind of just look at the way the brush tip looks if you're trying to choose one. I like this one a lot because it's really good for layering. You can kind of see it on my thumbnail. Kind of the size of it. Holds a lot of paint and it goes on smooth when you're painting. There you can go. Yeah. A lot of that's brush control, to be honest, but this is the one I use the most for King of Death painting. Never even heard of him. Sorry. Keep holding her in the wrong spot. I'm looking at her back and it's not quite the way I want it. I'm going to have to work on that. Too much pink is showing and not enough of everything else. Yeah, they're already looking pretty good. No, this one is an heavy metal brush. I got it a while ago. It was crazy expensive. It came in a set of 2. I still have them both. But I didn't like them at the time. So I really kind of abused the brushes. Used them for things that I shouldn't have, but they're both still perfect. So it's like, oh well, I got a good brush. I think it was $60 or more for the set, and now I'm like, oh yeah, that's why. Now that I know more about painting, I'm like, I totally understand. Right, running out of it again. It just soaks it up. It really does. More Rhinoxide again. Doing as much as I can with this brush before I switch to the smallest one. That is one nice thing about having to paint all of this color all at once is, even though it does take a while to dry, by the time I'm done with one part, the rest of it should be pretty dry. So. Alright, switching brushes so I have more control here. Switching to the really small one, but I'm putting a decent amount of paint on it. Oh, I just realized I goofed something. I don't know if you guys can see that. There are little black specks from when a brush flicked. I don't know when or what brush, but it definitely did it. It's probably when I was painting her hair. Fortunately, I had to do work on her back, and it looks like it's just her back that got hit.
Sorry, I'm still holding it too close. I apologize. It doesn't want to focus on that, and I'm holding it too close anyway. I do think for this kind of work I am going to have to switch to DSLR eventually, because as nice as this camera is, it still doesn't want to focus right. I'm going to finish with this color, and then I think I'm going to try to figure out the focus, so if I can get it to work the way I want it to. I'm purposefully not painting the faceplate because I don't know exactly what color I want it to be. And I don't want it to blend too much into her hair yet, so that's why I'm not painting that yet. If I do go down the next highlight layer for her skin, it should just look like freckles. That mistake I made. Or moles. Something natural. But for now, I'm just going to finish up this color. Let's see if I can switch the focus properly. So that would be awesome. Oh, I know, Queekster. You also need to message me, Queekster, because you won the fade from last month. Yeah, one of the cameras is out of sync, but I can't do anything about that lag. My computer's not good enough for a better capture card, so... Yep, can't do anything about it, unfortunately. Yeah, you won. I already messaged you and everything, but you didn't message me back. Okay, since that's done, I've got to go back over the skin one more time, I think, because of those little dots that I got on there. Can't really see them, but you kind of can. They look like almost like dead pixels on the screen. But her back doesn't look quite right either, so. Switching back to my normal brush. Gonna make some more light skin here on the palette. And just add a little bit of white to it. And a tad of red. Okay, more white than I thought. Come on. Cool. I'll get that sent out for you then. Congrats. Huh. The white pooled in a weird spot, but it actually is more natural than I would have thought. Like right in the crook of her arm, can you see that white spot? It almost looks like a reflection right here where I'm pointing. But it's actually a little bit of white, which is actually kind of cool. Like it was unplanned, but it ended up looking perfect. Ooh, that's what I was doing. There's a line of pink from the base layer that's still here that shouldn't be there. I gotta cover that up with something. Same over here, kind of. Yeah, that is a little late. A little happy accident, yeah. I'm not trying to touch it up too much. I actually got pretty much where I wanted to be before, but... Alright, I'm just got a little more white to it now. Just a little bit. See the dot right in the middle over there? What's that? This layer is actually really bright, but I want it to pool in places, specific places. It's the benefit of having done a good layer the first time, or pretty much every step of the way up to this point, because now I can take advantage of all that work I did and build it up the way I want. Skin is pretty much done, but I could hit this again in a minute. We'll see. Looks pretty good though. Hit a few more spots. Cool. Oh yeah, and the giveaway this month, Quickster, is a new inbox. What is it? Necromancer variant. Alright, so now that the skin is done, I'm going to focus on the flowers. So I'm going to kind of pick out an assortment and see how much blending I can accomplish. I'm going to start with, I'm going to go brown to yellow to red. Or no, brown to red to yellow. No, brown to red to orange to yellow. Yep, that's what I'll do. So I think I have a nice brown. I need a nice dark red. Not like dark. There we go. Hey, Panda, thank you for the cheer. Somebody actually coming in with some cheers. Look at that. Ooh, perfect. So, oh, no, there we go. Cool. So these are actually pretty muted. Oh, nope. It's too much. I'll see how these compare, but we'll see. Panda again. So I've got brown leather, which this may be too close to the brown I have already, but it's a start. Brown leather, then to blood red, then to Kalahari orange, and then to, what is it? Sahara brown? Sahara yellow. So, that's what I'm going to do. If the brown is a little too light, I'll have to switch, but hopefully it's not. Nope. Nope. Ah. Kind of going all over the place. Oh, it's a USA only thing? That makes sense, 4-color. I'm sorry. Thank you guys for the cheers. I appreciate that so much. Alright, so the brown isn't too brown. So, that's good. I'm actually going to leave the center of the leaf, that dark brown. That should help give it more definition. Gives it kind of like a solid starting off point. I'm glad this brown wasn't too dark. It looked darker in the bottle. So it won't be this light here in a minute, but it's a good start. Thank you, 4-color. You guys in the cheers. It's like a motivational boost. It's like, whoa, no! Look at that. I still love that they're physics based. It's so cool. We can see what I'm doing. It's hard to find an angle for this part actually on the camera. Alright. Again, I gotta try to pick out each individual leaf to make it easier on me. It's tricky. If I can get it in frame. It's tricky, but I'm trying to do that. Because if I can, then it's actually easier with each subsequent layer because I've already kind of blocked in the places I need to go. Yeah, they're just sitting in the cup. Hey, saves the day. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. Yeah, you even got your own little bit for free, pretty much, because of the follow, which is awesome. Oh, dang it. Not thin enough. The thing is, these layers have to be pretty thin. Otherwise, they go too far, basically. Okay, sounds good, Panda. All right. Basically, I gotta really lightly hit. This is the same thing I did on the previous Flower Witch. I gotta lightly hit this with the lighter color. I want to see a lot of that dark brown because that's where it really gives it definition. Is having that dark undertone. I'll build it up, of course, but I really want this to be brighter. And you can see where I'm going with this. It looks really unique. And the brown I'm using right now did darken up like I said it would, like it really did. But it's still different enough that it shouldn't affect it. And now I gotta worry. I have to worry about it now because I messed up before and I sprayed those little dots, which actually look okay now. They do look like little moles. Now I just gotta be careful because I'm painting this pretty quickly. But I don't want to go too quick or I'll do that all over again, and then it'll just be more work. I don't want more work. I want the right amount of work. Although realistically, I could just paint the hair towards the roots, because the rest of it's going to be covered up with yellow and orange and red. So. Yeah, you get chat badges, no? Yep, you get them. Anybody who cheered gets one of those little things. And you actually get better ones as you go up. So you get different ones the more you cheer. So. That would be amazing, but I think Panda would need to change professions in order to accomplish that and go back to school and stuff. That's a little much. Maybe be a cool project we could figure out, you know, together as a group, maybe. Work on it kind of as a collaboration. That'd be kind of cool. But I'm the only one who gets to think Panda can do anything. And give her unreasonable goals. Yeah, that's the one, Jabberwock. That's the right link. So just read that up really quick, and then there are ways to do it. All right, she's looking good actually. Take a quick look at that. Yeah, she's still out of focus. Is that better? Oh, that is actually better. Cool. I can hold her closer than I did before. So sorry that I haven't been. All right. So I'm going from that brown straight to a red. The red is a little brighter, but it should tone down just like the brown did. Okay, hold it closer now. It's awesome. All right. So the same as before. I'm just trying to do the red. Not in as much space as the brown though, so I'm slowly but surely doing less of each color. And you can see the previous color that I just did is already dry on this leaf. Yeah, she's turning out. Just wait until I start blending the reds and the oranges and the yellows. She's the fall one for you. So she'll look pretty cool when I'm done. So I want this brown to be at the roots. So the red, I'm going to start painting around the middle. Like that. Yeah. See? Just like that. She actually looks a lot prettier in person, too. So, should be a nice addition. It's nice, too, because I don't think Doremicom's donation for winning the Flower Witch last week actually went through yet. So, I'll still be able to keep her long enough to get some photos with all four of them. Do a little quick showcase video. So then, if you want to show off your collection, Ronnie, without actually showing off the collection, you'll be able to just pull up my YouTube video of the commission. So it just won't have your personal one in it, but it'll have kind of the idea at least. Sorry, Ronnie. Yeah. Focus on the work. It's fine. It'll be up on Patreon anyway, so don't worry about it. The video will be. So I'm making sure I'm painting the hair the right way. Okay. So that is after that last layer. So looks pretty good. But I wanted to do the next layer, which is an orange. And like I said, I will do a brief intro video to each of these to kind of go over the color theory and whatnot. And to do a list of colors. That won't be very interesting right away, because I'll just lay out the paints. But I will try to type a list for each video as well. To put in the description on... Alright, so now I'm going on this Kalahari orange. It's actually a nice orange, pretty subtle. Alright, so just like the previous layers, I hit this orange, but it's not going to be complete. I'm just riding off the previous layer. I can actually paint this a little thicker this time, because I want to really show it off. Now, I wanted all the leaves to just be blended together. You could paint them individually and kind of go even further and paint, say, paint one yellow but with different shades of yellow. Paint one red with different shades of red. That would look really cool too. I just wanted to do this blending on all of the leaves. That's just me personally. So, and take the creativity any direction you want. That's the nice thing. You can watch me paint, but whenever you take the brush into your own hands, it's all you. I hope that these videos help you guys, but it's very interesting to see your own creativity. I have my own way of doing it. I hope that you guys can experiment and practice, and as you become better painters, figure out ideas I haven't thought of yet, because I am not in any way the best painter there is. I'm glad that they help you guys. Yep, anybody can paint. Yeah, a lot of that is genetic, which is crazy. But yeah, you know, you grow up that way and you live with it your whole life. It's not like you know the difference. You know, it's just living. So. All right, so there she is. That's with brown, orange, and yellow, or brown, orange, and red. So now I'm going to take the time and actually do a yellow. That should brighten it up. The colors are actually pretty subtle on this one for fall. I wanted to keep it more muted with the dark brown. So right now what I'm doing is Sahara yellow. There we go. Still getting used to the camera. Again, thank you guys for all the cheers. That's awesome. Okay. So I can hold it right this time. There we go. It's actually really bright yellow compared to everything else, so I'm just going to hit the edges. Just hitting the ends of the hair right now. There we go. I'm gonna thin it actually, and then actually put more on than I planned, just to kind of blend it a little bit. There. Okay. Now back to the other side. Hit. Sure, I got enough on, but not too much. This part is actually going to be interesting because I have to Actually, let me get this centered and I'll hold it in one spot this time. Alright, so I gotta actually pick out everything, so I need it's a little bit smaller. This is where all the detail comes back, because I lost a bit. Not a lot, but enough. There we go. Okay, sorry. I'm back. Doing the underside here. Alright, I'm going to hit this front part again. Let's brighten up that yellow a bit. Just a little bit. It's actually good, I just want it a little bit brighter on the edges. Alright, so what I'm going to do actually, I should have really bright yellow. There's actually a really bright yellow, this Tenere yellow. It's like a yellow white. I'm going to do that. And this is just on the very edge of all the leaves and a little bit in her hair. Just a little bit in her hair. So. Like that. Just a little. But it's bright enough to provide that edge for all the leaves. There, it actually really helps. All right. Again with the back. There we go. There she is. I think I'm actually gonna go with like a red mask. No, gold mask. Gold mask. Time to break out the gold. Retributor armor, one of my favorites. Actually, you know what? I need to do a wash on the base really quick. So let me do that in just a second.